Okay, so this is the first session where we actually get into the practice of mindfulness. And for those of you who were here last time, the way we defined mindfulness is simply our ability to focus on an object without getting distracted. So that doesn't sound, perhaps doesn't sound too exciting, but it turns out to be a fundamentally important skill for any type of meditation practice, and really for any type of cultivating mental skills and for that matter insight. So in the Buddhist word for mindfulness meditation, it's often called shamatha meditation, and the word shama means calm, and ta means abiding or to remain in. So it has this sense of calmly remaining in a state of focus and presence. And it turns out that once we start to do this kind of practice, there are a number of challenges that comes up. And it's actually the case that the challenges that we meet when we start to practice mindfulness or start to cultivate this skill of mindfulness, it's actually challenges that we have in life in general. These are like mental challenges. So there's three of them, and we will be addressing these three over the coming three sessions starting today. And the first challenge is that we tend to push too hard, especially when we want to focus. We tend to clamp down, and we really, we get this little wrinkle between our eyes, and now I'm going to focus. And this is how we live a lot of our lives. We need to focus all the time, but the strategy that we have is really to tense up and clamp down. And it does work. It does give us an increased focus, but it comes at a very, very high cost. So it's not the best strategy. And then the other challenge we have is that we have a mind that is extremely overactive, going this way and that, into the past, into the future. And I think especially in our modern world with our smartphones and our deadlines and all our meetings and this and that, this is a really, I think there's something that you can all recognize as just this distracted mind. And then the third challenge is when we become drowsy or dull, and when we lose the sharpness of our focus or our awareness. So probably you can recognize these challenges, and we will meet them when we start doing this kind of meditation practice. So what we will do so the first 5 sessions starting today will be on cultivating mindfulness, and we will have used 3 qualities that will help us counteract these challenges that I just mentioned. So the first one today will be relaxation, so that we start to explore how we can create a focus that is not tense, but is based in relaxation, so that we can let go of all the effort that is not necessary, both physically and mentally, and thus counteract this tendency to tense up. And the other quality will then be focus or stability, where we start to cultivate this ability of wherever we place our attention, it stays there. And it doesn't matter if it's a person we're talking to, or if we're doing breathing meditation, or we're writing an email. Same quality of just stable focus, which then counteract this tendency of mind wandering and scattered distraction. And the third one will be clarity. So getting this high resolution awareness where things are clear and sharp, which then counteracts this tendency of drowsiness or dullness or lethargy. So there's this metaphor of a tree. So you want to have a nice stable tree with nice branches and leaves. Then you need to have roots that go deep, and that's the aspect of relaxation. So we have the deep roots of really being relaxed. And then the trunk that's the aspect of focus or stability that really gives the tree this stability. And then the leaves and the branches, the leaves is then the clarity. So this clarity, this sharp awareness is born from stability and relaxation. So this is what we'll explore. And for the first 5 sessions, this will be cultivating mindfulness or shamatha meditation. And then for the last 3, we'll move into what's called vipassana or insight meditation. So that is when we start to apply our mindfulness to look into our everyday experience and also the nature of our own existence in a way. So we'll look at session 6, we'll look at change and impermanence. Number 7, we'll look at dissatisfaction and really start looking into what brings genuine happiness as opposed to transitory happiness. And the last session we'll look into what's the nature of the self, what's the nature of our own existence. So we'll really apply this quality of shamatha in the last 3 sessions. Okay, so starting today, we'll do meditation also on the object, because if you're going to cultivate this this ability of focused attention, or these attention skills, you might even call them, we need something to focus on. And one object that's very common is the breath. So that's what we'll use for the first 3 sessions. And in some of if you look at the really old meditation texts, they say that, so there's this segment of people that tend to be, they have all these thoughts and they're all over the place. And for that, and I think back then it was a smaller segment. So for those people, the breath is extremely good as an object. But I think today, too many thoughts all over the place, distracted, that's like 95% of us or 99% of us. So I think breathing meditation is really good for all of us today. And the breath is always good because it's always there, hopefully. Otherwise we have other problems than focus. But it's very accessible. We carry it with us. And also it helps us to leave the conceptual mind, because we tend to live our lives from the shoulders and up, just thinking, planning, analyzing all the time. So it's good to just drop down into the body and use the breathing as a way of really connecting with the fact that we are embodied beings and not just these heads walking around. So it's a way of getting out of the conceptual mind and into a more perceptual way of being. So the first, today, next week, and the week after that will be the breath in various ways. And then session 4 will focus on, we'll start turning our focus on the mind and all the things that are going on. So thoughts, sensations, experience. And then the session after that will focus in on awareness itself. So awareness will become the object of our focus. Just staying present with a bare sensation or the bare experience of being aware. And for some people that gets very tricky because we want something to do, like tell me what to do, and you just sit there and be aware of the fact of being aware, and it's like it's too easy almost. So, but we'll see when we get there. But today we'll start then with using the breathing as an object, and we'll start to cultivate this foundation of relaxation. And this is really helpful. Immediately when you start doing this kind of practice, you'll see that it has some real benefits in everyday life. Because when we can bring a more relaxed and more focused mind to our everyday activities, the quality of those activities will increase. So what we do, we will do it better, and at the same time we will feel better doing it, because we'll have a greater sense of ease, and more, we will be more effortless in the things we do. You know, less of this and more of a relaxed focus. And in the practice, so this first time we'll use the breathing as an object, but you can just you can allow yourself to let your attention move to wherever you can really experience the breath. So it might be the abdomen that is rising and falling, or it might be sensations in the throat or the nostrils or the chest. So just wherever you feel the breathing most clearly, or you can, if you want, you can follow the whole cycle of the breathing, just air flowing in and moving back out. And then whenever, so again, the exercise is really cultivating focus and stability. So whenever we get distracted, thoughts coming up, sounds from the street, emotions, whatever that distracts us from following the breathing. First of all, that's an opportunity for us to become really happy, because we're aware we caught the distraction. It's not just automatic mind wandering. I got the distraction. So instead of being upset that, oh, I'm not supposed to be thinking or this and that, just really happy. I caught the distraction, but this is not the time to follow that train of thought, and I can leave that for later. After the session, you can think whatever it is through, but right now just leave it, and then you take that opportunity to relax, and then you gently bring your attention back and keep following the breathing wherever you can experience it clearly. So one way of expressing that is when we get distracted, we release the distraction, we relax, and then we return. So release, relax, return. And just patiently, persistently, we keep coming back to the breathing. We keep getting distracted. We keep letting go and keep coming back. And of course, I will guide the meditation once we get to it in a little bit. And then another thing that's important is this topic of posture. So traditionally, you would sit in a full lotus, or like a half lotus posture. You sit on the floor. Not at all necessary, but it's definitely a helpful posture, because it especially you tuck something under your buttocks, so you get your hips move a little bit forward, and then you get a nice straight back. But the important thing is really, first of all, having a straight back. And it shouldn't be a tensed, like a military posture that we have to put effort into keeping, but relaxed, but upright posture. Because as soon as if we start, slumping over, then we restrict our breathing, and it's also very difficult to keep alert and sharp. So straight back, and at the same time, relax your shoulders, rest your hands where it feels comfortable. You can maybe tuck your chin in a little bit, and either close your eyes or keep them slightly open. So something like this as a posture, because that really, we want the body to really support the practice of meditation It certainly doesn't, we don't want it to get in the way. So just really important to take care of the body so we're comfortable in our posture. So, and then if we, we might be really stiff or in our hips, or we have problems with our knees or whatever. Just sitting this way is not really a good option. Then we just sit on a chair, for example. That's perfectly okay. Maybe during the meditation, one option could be to move slightly forward on the chair, so you can sit with a straight back. But if that's uncomfortable, just move back and let the back be supported. But same theory, straight back, mostly important. And then, if we have problem, we might have problems sitting on a chair. It's perfectly okay to lie down. So we can lie down in yoga. They call it the shavasana position, the corpse position. Just straight and with your hands to your sides, and that's a very relaxing position, and it's a very good position for meditation. So it's, if you at any time you feel like lying down, it's you're not a better meditator if you sit on a cushion rather than lying down. So just lie down if you find that more supportive. So I think that's pretty much it before going into meditation. Are there any questions on any of the instructions, or anything that's not clear, or any comments, something that you think I should have mentioned that I didn't mention? Seems like everything is crystal clear. That's good. And again, we'll be doing, so this will be a 24-minute session, and the main reason for that is that it's not too short. We have an opportunity to get into the practice, but at the same time, it's not too long. I find it not so helpful most of the time to sit. You can, if you sit for an hour, you sit for 2 hours, especially when you're as a beginner, as myself. It tend to lose the quality of the meditation if you go for too long. So I think these 24 minutes is a really good balance between not too short, not too long. And it's the kind of session that you might be able to fit into your day as well. And if it's impossible to fit 24 minutes in, you do 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes. But here we'll be doing 2 24-minute sessions. Okay, so starting out, again, make yourself comfortable, find that nice, stable, grounded posture. And also, if you sit on a chair, it might be good to really plant both of your feet firmly in the ground so you feel supported. And then you just allow your awareness to descend down into the body. And become aware of whatever sensations you experience right now. Especially if you notice any areas where there is some tension, maybe in the face, the shoulders, hands or thighs. So if you notice areas of tension, then you can use the out breath to really let go. So there's this natural sense of release when we breathe out. And we can use that to just let go of these areas where we experience tension or tightness. And try to bring this really kind and friendly and warm and curious attention to your own body. And if you like, you can also take 3 breaths that are deeper, and then really releasing, relaxing on each out breath, letting go. But after that, just allow your breathing to find its natural rhythm. So you don't have to breathe in any particular way. Just allow your body to settle into its natural breathing pattern. Not controlling, not regulating, just observing. And also allow your mind to settle in a state of ease and relaxation. Just giving yourself permission to let go of any thoughts about the past or future, hopes and fears and worries, concerns. Just letting go of all those thoughts and bringing your mind into the present. So relaxing body, relaxing mind. And then you bring your attention to the sensations of the breath throughout your body. Maybe you can explore the boundaries of those sensations. Like, can you feel the breathing in the back? Can you feel the sensations of the breathing in your shoulders? How far down does it reach? Even down into the pelvis area, perhaps. And find some way of observing the breath that feels natural and comfortable. The belly rising and falling, or any other sensation related to the breathing. Maybe being a bit curious about how it actually feels to breathe. Relaxed, peaceful, without effort. And if you get distracted, your attention getting kidnapped by thoughts or memories, sounds, then again, don't get upset or blame yourself. Just happily notice this distraction and then release it. Relax and bring your attention, return your attention back to the breathing without clamping down or forcing your attention. Just gently place it back on the breath. So you just keep coming back. And if you find your mind becoming a bit dull or drowsy, if you become sleepy, then you might want to use the in-breath as an opportunity to arouse your focus and bring more energy into your meditation. So when you breathe in, you infuse a bit of more clarity and focus. You might also open your eyes just slightly to let some light in. You might also want to use the out breath to relax and let go. So when you breathe in, you arouse and refresh your focus. And when you breathe out, you relax and let go. Arousing and refreshing, and then releasing and relaxing. All the while staying intimately attentive to the breathing. Releasing distractions. Just gently notice, where is your attention right now? Without forcing or clamping down, without tensing up. Just very gently bring your attention back. Okay, so I thought I would suggest some homework for next week. So what I would suggest is that, if possible, every morning you can do this meditation of full body breath awareness with this foundation of relaxation. So if you have 20 minutes, that's fantastic. But if you can do 10 minutes, that's also great. If you're a very busy person, maybe 5 minutes is better than nothing. And of course, again, you can do it in the shavasana, lying down position. So you can do it in bed, but you might fall asleep again. So that might not be a good idea. But if you get up and you have maybe a place where you can have some peace and quiet, and you can sit down and really start developing a daily meditation practice, that's really good. And then also I would suggest that throughout the day, we're working or we're studying or whatever we do. So whenever you notice that there is some tension, so you're stressed or you're really clamping down, so take an opportunity to just stop. Whatever you're doing, just stop. And then you take 3 breaths. You follow 3 full breaths, and you really allow yourself to relax. So when you breathe in, you notice, is there tension here mentally, physically? And when you breathe out, you release all thoughts, release tensions. And even if it's possible, you can even sit quiet for a while. And once you've done that, then you start that task, whatever it is. And it's going to be completely different. So, and it doesn't matter if you're going into that really stressful meeting, or you're trying to finish writing that report, or whatever we're up to in the days. It's really good to have these moments of regaining relaxation, regaining clarity. And it 30 seconds can be enough to change everything. And if you want to develop a habit so that this becomes really habitual, and then it might be good, you can set a timer. So I don't know, use Outlook or something, or whatever, and just you have a timer every hour. So every hour you follow 3 breaths, or maybe once in the middle of the day you can maybe take a few minutes and do some practice. A lot of people, I teach mindfulness in companies, and a lot of people end up in the toilet or in the bathroom doing their mindfulness practice. It's seems to be the only place where people can get some peace and quiet. And someone said, if you're really lucky, it's one of those toilets where the lights shut off if you don't move. So then you can sit there, and it becomes even nicer. So that might be I don't know, tip. And then in the evening, when you're ready to, you're in your bed, you're lying down, maybe you stopped reading your book, whatever, and so you lie there, and then you go into the corpse position. So you put your hands on your sides, palms facing upward. So this is really a posture of meditation. So it's not just going to sleep, but a posture of meditation. And then you do this meditation but lying down, and when you feel that you're starting to lose focus, you're starting to become drowsy, okay, then you do something to shift your posture. So you maybe move on to the side, or just turn your hands or something, just to signal to yourself that this is no longer meditation, but now you're moving into sleep. And that will most likely help you fall asleep, and it will help you have a more refreshing sleep, because it helps us also to let go of the thoughts. So the way we go into sleep will also like flavor or color the quality of our sleep. So it's a really good way of ending the day. So basically, meditation in the morning, throughout the day, in the evening, and you'll all be fine. No, but seriously, it's good to not just once a week here on the cushion we do our meditation, but really try to bring it into everyday life, because that's when it's going to start becoming useful.